Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Man, that was ugly. That was ugly. Wait for a few of y'all to show up, talk about this fight. It's a nasty knockout, man. Nasty, nasty, nasty knockout. Let me know y'all can hear me, man. I see y'all coming in the building. Let me know y'all can hear me. What's good, NBT boxing? Nasty knockout, man. Man, that was brutal. That reminded me of, let me see, you can put that in the category of, let me see, Big John Tate, Mike Weaver, when Weaver knocked him out in the last round face first. Let me see, Sonny Liston versus Leotis Martin, when Martin knocked him out face first. Man, that was brutal. That was brutal. Now, I did predict Dillian Whyte to win the fight. I thought he would win by decision. Now looking at it now, it's like, oh, I knew he was going to knock. Now, there was some people saying by KO. I did see some people coming to my page and saying by KO, but I didn't think that was going to happen, man. I was now yesterday when the weigh-in took place. I didn't expect Lucas Browne to come in at 264. You know what I mean? But one of the reasons I was picking Whyte is because of Lucas Browne's inactivity. And he isn't a guy that has a high work rate as it is. So for him to be out of the ring that long, I predicted that would hinder him, and it did at the weigh-in. So when he came in at 264 yesterday, I was like, or the day, the other day, I was like, oh man, 264. Now he's been heavier than that in his career, but that was earlier in his career. And for one of his better fights over the last 4 years was his Chigayev fight. He came in at 250 for that fight. So now he came in at 264. So that did not help him at all. He did have little chances and spots in this fight to, you know, attack Dillian Whyte. I think it was like the third round. I remember, if I can remember off top, Whyte went to the ropes a little bit for like 10, 15 seconds around there. And he put up the high guard and he kind of let Browne tee off. You could tell he just let him. And it was like nothing. And then right when Browne did that, he seen that he couldn't do anything. He actually backed up. So then Whyte just got off the ropes and started walking him back down. And it was like, oh man, once I started seeing that, and then Whyte did a good job of placing shots. He didn't, although he was throwing some good combos, he didn't just get reckless. And that's the chance that I thought Lucas Browne could catch Dillian Whyte if Dillian Whyte started to open up reckless. Because Whyte will not run away from a dust up, a tear up. He loves it. You know what I mean? So I was like, Browne has a chance, man. If Whyte comes in reckless, catch him on his chin. You could say that about damn near any fight, you know what I mean? But especially at the heavyweights where it really, really just takes one punch. But Whyte went in there and just completely dominated Lucas Browne. And I understand that Lucas Browne is an older fighter, but, heavyweights, they kind of age differently than the other weight divisions. They don't so much rely on lateral movement. Well, some do, but you guys get what I'm saying in the overall just overall picture. They don't rely on some of the things that smaller weight classes rely on. All right, but Whyte went in there and took care of business, man. Put him to sleep in the sixth round. Pretty much won every round, dominated every round. Round one was probably debatable. You know how it is in the first round. They kind of fill each other out type of thing. But I thought Whyte won that as well. Yeah, man. So now, Dillian Whyte has 3 pretty decent wins on his resume. As far as he beat Lucas Browne, he took his undefeated record, or he took his O in emphatic fashion. The Chisora win, and then Helenius. Now, is he all-time great resume? No, it's just for this climate, for this pool of talent, the guys between, the top 30-ish, top 25-ish, those are pretty decent wins in my opinion. 39 people watching, only 9 thumbs up. Come on, y'all. Stop playing. Let's go. Hit that thumbs up button, man. I'm gonna get to the comments in a second here. But for those of you just joining, just watching, man, yeah, that right there reminded me of Big John Tate, Mike Weaver, face first knockout, Leotis Martin, Sonny Liston. Those are ones I can think of off top. Face first knockout. It's just nasty. Did Ezra Charles knock out Bob Satterfield like that, face first? I think Charles got knocked out face. So I can't remember it off the top right now, but that was just nasty, man. It was just nasty. Now I know after the fight, I didn't watch every single interview. I seen a lot of them on my feed, my YouTube feed. Sub to a lot of boxing channels, especially the ones that go to the pressers and do interviews and record interviews. Oh yeah, I'm watching it again. Damn, that was just ridiculous, man. Give me a second, y'all. Let me watch this KO one more time. One more time. It was a left hook, like it caught him on his temple, probably his jaw. I haven't watched the in close replay of the actual punch that landed on Browne, but just went to sleep. But anyways, now without watching all those interviews of Dillian Whyte, now I did hear him call out Wilder after the fight, and that's what he's supposed to do. I'm not mad at Dillian Whyte for wanting to call out Deontay Wilder, rather. You know what I mean? That's what he's supposed to do, man. You know what he's supposed to do? Call out Ajit Kabayel or Mir Mansour? No, he's gonna call out the title holders. He's feeling himself. He just had a ridiculous KO, a KO of the year candidate type of victory. Guy was undefeated. So I expect him to do that. You know, now I'm hearing people say he's the mandatory. From my understanding, I haven't seen the WBC come out and say Dillian Whyte is the mandatory. I know he is rated number one. He's the number one rated contender as of right now. Dominic Breazeale's number 2. Luis Ortiz 3. Povetkin 4. Pulev 5. Tony Bellew 6. 7. Johan Duhaupas. 8. Charles Martin. 9. Adam Konowski. 10. Ajay Kabayel. Oscar Rivas is 11. 12. Carlos Takam. 13 was Lucas Browne. 14. Derek Chisora. And 15. Stavern. How the hell is Stavern? How is he still in there? Man, how is he still in their top 15? Jeez, when are they going to release Stavern of the top 15? But then you look at these other sanctioned body rankings, you think that's a ridiculous ranking. Look at the WBA. They got fucking BJ Flores as number 6. You know what I mean? Guillermo Jones is number 11. So all these rankings look kind of weird, man, when you go across the board. But that right there, Stavern still being in the top 15 just is a shocker. But anyways, but shit, it's just as much of a shocker as BJ Flores being in the top 6 WBA. But anyways, the way I'm looking at this, man, if Wilder, okay, we have to wait till next weekend's over with. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that Joshua beats Joseph Parker. I am favoring AJ to win by decision, but I'm just looking at this as far as, let's say Joshua wins. We know that everybody wants to see an undisputed champion. So if Joshua wins, a lot of fans want to see the Wilder fight, undisputed champion, get it out the way with, and we can move on from there. Let's just establish undisputed, and we're done, right? But it seems as if no matter what happens next weekend, Eddie Hearn's goal is to get Dillian Whyte in there with Deontay Wilder. Now, what I will say is this: if Wilder can't get Joshua or Parker, whoever it is, I do think he should fight Dillian Whyte. Why? Because he is the number 1 rated. Although I haven't seen anything surface as he is the mandatory. Because remember, when Breazeale fought Molina, you guys remember, I actually did a video about it. A lot of YouTubers did. You can look this up on Google. This is nothing I'm making up. They actually had Breazeale versus Molina as the final eliminator. And then I think it was a few days before the fight, maybe, where they came back out and retract that statement. It was like, no, it's just a title eliminator. It was actually on their website, because I looked it up when I did my video. I looked it up on their WBC website, and they did have that fight as a title eliminator. And then they switched it, and it was just a elimination, just a regular elimination bout, but it wasn't a final elimination bout. All right. For months and months and months, I thought they should have made Whyte versus Breazeale as the final eliminator. I don't know. WBC's tripping, man. They should have made Breazeale versus Whyte is the final eliminator. But I haven't seen anything about Whyte being the mandatory, but he is number 1 rated by their sanctioning body. So if Wilder can't get those fights, I would just say he should fight Dillian. He's the number 1, the next guy in line, fight him. If he can't get him, Dominic Breazeale. If he can't get him, Povetkin. If he can't get him, Pulev. Just go right down the list. But the thing is, some guys he's going to have to skip over no matter how high they're rated. Like Johan Duhaupas number 7. Do we really want to see a rematch of that? I mean, I really don't want to see a rematch. Adam Konowski, he's number 9. He's looked at as more of a prospect type of guy. But once you start getting in these top 10s, that prospect shit kind of goes away. Plus, he beat a former title challenger in Artur Spilka. You got Charles Martin there at 8. AJ Caballel's 10. I know a lot of people's like, who the hell's AJ Caballel? He did beat Derek Chisora. You know what I mean? At one point in time, Dillian Whyte's best win was Derek Chisora. So AJ Caballel, I believe he has the EBU title. His best win right now is Derek Chisora. I think Caballel's 25, 24, German prospect. You know, he's out of that German class with Michelle Wallace and Tom Schwartz and guys like that out there that are up and coming. Yeah, Tom Schwartz is rated number 5 by the WBO right now. And he's number 14 by the IBF. You know, but that's what he's going to have to do. Oscar Rivas, number 11. Man, I wish Rivas can pass an eye exam here in the States, man. I really like to see Oscar Rivas fight one of the shorter heavyweights. But I do like his style. He had a fight with Amir Mansour that was taken off the table because he failed the eye exam. Then he had the fight with Gerald Washington taken off the table because he failed the eye exam down here in the States. So maybe somebody might need to go up to Canada to fight him. I'm not sure about Oscar, but and then, you know, I've heard people say, well, you know, he shouldn't fight Dillian Whyte. He should fight. But to me, it's the same pretty much group of guys. If you look at all these sanctioned body rankings, it's pretty much the same group of guys that are up there in that top 6. Jarrell Miller is the only exception. He's not in the WBC rankings. I'm not sure if it's because he's not signed up to their clean boxing program. Don't quote me on that. It's not written in stone. I know the last time he was taken out their rankings was because of that. All right. But Jarrell Miller is rated number 3 by the WBA. He's rated number 3 by the IBF. And he's rated number 3 by the WBO. Technically, from these rankings, I'm on fightnews.com. So if these are up-to-date WBO, IBF, WBA rankings, he is technically rated in all those sanctioned bodies higher than Dillian Whyte. In some rankings, just by a slot or two, like the WBO, he's 3, Whyte's 4. IBF, Miller's 3, Whyte's 4. WBA, Miller's 3, Whyte is 9. And then the WBC, Whyte is 1. And then Jarrell Miller's not even in their top 15. All right, so if I'm Wilder, man, shouts out to Blood Boxing because he's the first one to convey this message on video. But I was also thinking the same thing. I just didn't convey it the way he did. But I totally agree with what he said. Wilder, you know, you can't just keep chasing Anthony Joshua around. I know, you know, use the smoke him out tactic and make him get in the ring. But at the end of the day, you can't make him do shit, especially when he's that popular. It doesn't matter if sometimes when you're so popular, it doesn't even matter if you're right or wrong. It doesn't matter what you say. You can say anything. People will stick with you because they just, you know, they're a fan of yours. No matter what nobody else says, or they're a fan of yours. So you can't just keep chasing this guy if he has other things he wants to do, whether you want to call it he's scared or he has better options, whichever way you want to phrase it, scared or he has other options and he can do what he wants, however you want to phrase it. If you can't get the guy in the ring, just fight other guys. You can focus on your legacy. He already has Wilder has 7 or 8 title defenses. So you can keep working on that. Keep working your way up the historical ladder as far as heavyweight title holders with successful title defenses. You can also chase after Rocky Marciano's heavyweight record of 49-0. Try to catch Larry Holmes, who was 48-0 at one time. And just line some of these other guys up, whether they're AJ or Klitschko leftovers or Povetkin however you want to phrase it. Just start beating those guys and just work on your own thing, man. You know, that's what I would do if I was him. So I would definitely have Wilder fight Dillian Whyte or Brazil next, whichever one. To me, it's a damn coin toss. Just toss the coin up and however it lands. You know what I mean? You know, but Dillian Whyte being number 1. So let me say consistent because I've said this a lot. Go after the very top highest rated guy. So that would be Dillian Whyte. But I do think the WBC should have made Whyte versus Brazil as a title eliminator. I just don't understand why that never took place. And I'm talking before this fight. I was saying it before the Browne fight. But just glancing at some of these rankings, man, it's just crazy. Fred Zakendo is number 2 by the WBA. That's pretty damn crazy. Let me go ahead and read some of these comments. In NBT Boxing was good. Gordon Taylor says, what a brutal knockout. Yeah, that was nasty, man. Kingpin says, never rated Browne highly, though. When you say that, I mean, yeah, I never had Browne number 10, number 5 or number 10 or nothing like that. When he beat Chigaev, I thought that was a decent fight. I know we can argue Chigaev was old. He was a small, yeah, but he was an old, small, decent heavyweight that was winning. You know what I mean? That's just, those are facts. So yeah, when you say you never rated him high, I mean, high is meaning what? Top 5, top 10, top 15. I've had him in my top 15, but nobody really expected a face first, put him to sleep knockout. And if you did, I'd say what, maybe 1% of boxing fans. Mike Wilkins says, what's good, bro? What's good, man? Jedi Reddick says, sup, bro? What's good? NBT Boxing says that was Pacquiao Marquez for, yeah, it was Martinez over Paul Williams type of knockout. Yeah, I was just thinking more on the heavyweight things, but yeah, that was a face first, put him to sleep. Gotti Box says, hey, Mr. Boxing, you good? Yeah, I'm good, man. Gordon Taylor says, did you see Whyte kick the ropes and nearly fall over after knocking him out? It was hilarious. Yeah, Whyte was amped. He was amped up, man. He was amped up. Usually when you in there, that adrenaline's flowing, it's already a brutal sport, and that happens, you just turn into a savage sometimes, even if you just black out for a few seconds, man. And that's definitely what happened. He blacked out. I remember Mike Tyson kind of blacked out after he knocked out Marvis Frazier. This shit comes over you, you just kind of black out. Madhouse 2332 says, good day, sir. What's good? D-Rack Operator says, levels. Yeah, it was levels. It's levels. He got leveled. He leveled the fuck out of Lucas Browne. Mem Poby says, what's good, bro? What's up, man? Jamie Craig says, I can't hear anything. Are used the same? I don't know what you're talking about. SM says, loud and clear. Eddie Salsa says, Browne went down heavier than MBT on a bottle of Grey Goose. Stuck in Kiev says, this fight makes it more interesting for Whyte to fight Wilder. If the AJ fight is not on offer, that was a nice domination by Whyte and too bad for Browne. He may have to call Alex Leopold now. And it's funny, man, how different things are in the last few years. I remember when Browne won that title from Chigaev, and I remember Joseph Parker and his team really wanted to fight him. And Browne just turned into a diva. He was like, oh, no, you got to come up the hard way like I did, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there like, dude, at that point in time, Joseph Parker was one of the up-and-coming, rising, contender, prospect type of guys. So I'm just like, why wouldn't he give him a fight? And it's a nice rivalry between, Australian and New Zealand fighters. So why wouldn't you make that fight? But he was acting like a real diva, man. Then as soon as he got his title taken away, he had to sit out. He was having his issues. He wanted to fight with Parker. And I was sitting there like, shit, Parker can, if he wanted to be an asshole, use the same thing that Browne was saying to him. You need to earn it and do it the hard way and all that type of shit. That's why you got to watch what you say, man. You win these titles and you start turning to a diva. You never know when it's you on the opposite end. And sometimes that happens before guys win titles. They are that guy that's kind of left out until they get their title shot. But even if you get a title and lose a title, you're going to be back in the same position. So you kind of got to watch what you say, man. Turn into a diva. Eddie Salsa says, who is Wilder's Mando? I'm not sure. But what I do know, looking at the rankings, Whyte is the #1 rated contender. I don't believe they came out with a who's the official mandatory. I'm not sure. MBT Boxing says, I thought Browne should retire or have a farewell fight against a journeyman in Australia, but something popped in my mind. Lucas Browne versus Alex Leopold. Leopold is past the 2 in a big local money fight. Yeah, somebody else just brought that up. I think that might happen. That's shit. Call Cali Meehan out of retirement or something. I really don't know, but maybe a farewell fight. Nobody wants to go out face first like that, man. And it's not like Browne is 47 or 48. He's still, it's not, it's not like he's on a damn deathbed. He's only, 38, 39. So he's getting up there, but, that was brutal, man. And and that's the thing about him, man. He, on his Instagram account, and a lot of these fighters, they always show themselves training and I'm in the gym, and you know how people do on social media, take selfies of themselves at the gym. And then they come in, Severn did the same shit, and they come in out of shape, overweight. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, dude, you just showed yourself on social media for a whole year. Now, I totally understand. I'm not there watching, all right? He may not be training as hard as he should be. Maybe he only stayed for 20 minutes that day. I understand. You know, I'm not there watching the guy train, but it just throws me off a little bit. Truth Holder says the sanctioned body rankings make no sense. Yep, they sure don't. MET Boxing says Tavern versus Jason Gavin, then Wilder versus Tavern 3 in February. Hey, I'm down for it. Wilder versus Tavern 3, sign me up. I'm just fucking around, man. I'm just fucking around. Whyte is a roadblock that Hearn planned on using all along. Well, sure. Tavares died. Yeah, I mean, see, now as a pure just fan, I want Wilder Joshua or Wilder Parker for undisputed. That's me as a pure fan. But as far as looking at it from a promoter side of it, of course. Of course. Look, fans, we can argue all day about chicken legs and he has no skill and it took him 40 fights. Look, as a fan, we can say whatever we want. But a fighter and a promoter, they know when somebody's dangerous. Oh, they know when somebody's dangerous. They may not express it publicly all the time, but if you mean to tell me behind closed doors, Hearn is sitting there saying, oh, this is just an easy win for AJ. He has chicken legs. That'd be a stupid ass promoter. All right. So what he's doing is he's trying to get all the titles. So instead of trying to chance it at first, let's say Joshua beats Parker. Instead of him trying to just strictly chance it on Joshua beating Wilder, which Hearn may think Joshua can beat Wilder. But why do that when you can have that guy have 3 belts if he beats Parker? And I'm not including that IBO. All right, I'm including the titles that that's under the criteria that make you undisputed: the WBA, WBO, the IBF, and Wilder's WBC. All right, so keep one guy with all the title or with those 3. Then I can have my other guy who is rated #1 by the WBC, just put on a good performance. He has wins over Helenius and Chisora, some decent wins. All right, have him get another title. I got all the titles, all in the UK. Damn America, we don't have to go over there for anything now. All the titles are over here. I got 3 out of I'm on the road to get 3 out of 4 anyways. Let's get the other one if Whyte can beat Wilder. And then what? Set up a huge fight in the UK for undisputed between 2 UK heavyweights. It'll be a rematch. Joshua's already expressed that he wants to fight Whyte in a rematch anyways. And that's one thing I will say about Joshua, because a lot of fans are getting on him because Hearn has brought it up and about a rematch. You guys got to remember, though, man, this one thing I will say, though. I know times have changed. This guy's went on to win titles and so on and so forth, speaking of Joshua. But what I will say is, you guys remember, immediately after that fight at the post-fight presser, who did Anthony Joshua say he wanted to fight next? Dillian Whyte in a rematch. He said that, guys. So you guys just go back and look at that, man. Now, I know things have changed. Titles have been won. Fans are demanding other things for him to do. But I'm just saying, he's always been wanting this rematch with Dillian Whyte. Maybe it's just something personal with him. Maybe he felt as if, hey, man, I shouldn't even got rocked in the second round. Maybe he feels as if Dillian Whyte was using his shoulder as an excuse. Maybe he feels as if I didn't beat him clean enough for my liking. Whatever it is in Joshua's mind that wanted him to fight Dillian Whyte immediately after the first fight. I don't know. You got to ask him. So I will say that. But the rematch will be much bigger if Dillian Whyte were to beat Wilder, and then you have undisputed in the UK. Hearn to sit back with his damn feet up and laugh. You know what I mean? So I understand it from his point of view, but I'm not Eddie Hearn. I'm a damn boxing fan. You know what I mean? So that's why sometimes when you guys, I see in the comment section, understand the business, Mr. Box. Man, I understand the business, man, but I just want to watch the best fights. You know what I mean? I totally understand the business and looking at it from a promoter side of things. Whyte or Brazil would be a great fight for Wilder next. Yep, I agree on that. I agree. Good, fun, local fight, and maybe it is 50-50. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Good, fun, local fight. Maybe it's 50-50. I'm not sure about that. Doing live productions was good, man. Somebody says Wilder fights Whyte, and then his profile is further built over here in the UK for the fight, making it bigger here. Yeah, and see, you know what? I'm not mad at that statement you just left, because you're saying the keyword for me, or keywords, is UK and here. A lot of fans think like Dillian Whyte's just global superstar. No, that was proven that he wasn't when he came over here and fought Nebraska. And I'm not even trying to be funny or sarcastic, man. He literally fought in front of like 90 people on that undercard against Malcolm Tan. That's why when Hearn was saying bring him to the USA to make a splash, I'm like, that didn't even make a fucking drip. Like, nobody was watching that, dude. And then the fight itself, I think you had to go like on the ESPN app to watch it that day. So what do you mean you can't make a splash from the 90 people? I even think Wilder, when he went over to the UK early in his career and he fought Ollie Harrison, it was in front of more than 90 people, if I recall, wasn't it, y'all? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, man. I'm not, my word isn't always written in stone, although I know a lot about the heavyweights, but it was in front of more way people than fucking because he fought on that American undercard, and it was in front of way more people than what Whyte fought in front of. But out there in the UK, Whyte had a good turnout for this Lucas Browne fight. So, and I even had somebody left me a text message that I talked to outside of YouTube. They were asking me like, hey man, shit, Whyte's selling out over there in the UK. He might be the A side fighting Wilder. That's what the guy said. And I was like, nah, I don't want to take it that far. But the UK fans they're serious about their guys, man. This is a place where they'll go sell out stadiums to watch soccer teams with losing records just because they just love the sport. It's just what they do. Here in America, where motherfuckers is arrogant. I remember back, and this is a different sport, but just to show some of you guys, just from my point of view from American fan standpoint, I remember like the Lakers, right? Back in the early 2000s when they were dominating. I remember watching games, and this even goes, and I remember even watching the Miami Heat when they were dominant with LeBron. Like halfway through the first quarter, wasn't even sold out yet during a regular season game because people are just now filing their way in to get into the building. You know what I mean? It's like, man, how arrogant are these fans? They got the best teams, the best, 2 or 3 players in the world on their teams, and they're showing up in the first, the middle of the first quarter, end of the first quarter to get the, arena finally packed. You know what I mean? Or even over here, you guys see it on our pay-per-views all the time. How many times have you watched our pay-per-views and probably the main event will be packed, but the fight before the main event, you'll just start seeing people file into the arena. It's just how we are over here, man. It's just, there's so much shit going on. There's so many other sports going on. It's just, we're arrogant, when it comes to that type of shit. But maybe they do it in the UK. Maybe I don't watch enough sporting events in the UK to see it. So if that is the case, leave it in the comment section, MBT Boxing says, I would still edge Browne personally even after this. Golden Mike 30 says, Wilder versus Whyte, good fight. I just hope we have one heavyweight champ before 2019. Man, you and me both, bro. And a lot of fans, like I always say, man, people think like just now fans want undisputed. Nah, at heavyweight, man, if you are like me, a fan like myself, that's been watching this for years and years and years, man, it's going on 20 long years without an undisputed heavyweight champion. The Klitschko era kind of messed that up for us because they were brothers and they were the 2 dominant guys, so they wasn't going to fight each other. I actually did. I remember I did a collab with Calix Boxing. Shouts out to Calix Boxing, man. He doesn't upload as more, but he was from that other generation of YouTube uploaders around 2009, 2010. But I remember me and him did a collab in like 2010, I believe, and it was on my first channel, and I was saying, man, Vitaly versus Vladimir. If not, somebody vacate their straps, man, because I want to see an undisputed champion. It was around that year. Don't remember if it was 2010 or 2011 or somewhere in there. But that's how bad I wanted undisputed. I wanted the damn brothers to fight, and we were just going back and forth. Morally, that isn't right, you know what I mean? But it was just for some fun, just a fun little back and forth session we had about it. But I've been wanting undisputed for a long time, man. It's just that time now. It's just that time now, man. I mean, 1999, y'all. If some of y'all was watching by me, come on, man. Think how long ago that was. That was my first year of college. It seemed like it was a lifetime ago. You know what I mean? And they fought twice that year. So We just need an undisputed heavyweight champion. To me, right now is the right time. You got the players, you got the fan bases behind it, you got exciting style matchups. Um, let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen. Wilder needs to fight someone, so why have Eliminator? Nah, what I'm saying is, who's that? Sean knew about. No, what I'm saying is this. I believe Brazil versus White should have been took. If you've been following my videos, I've been saying it for months before the Browne fight. So I'm not trying to be on some, oh, I'm just saying it now. So no, I've been saying it. When they made Brazil fucking versus Molina, I was saying it. Like, why is this fight happening? Why not just make Brazil versus White now? With that said, if they don't do it, then knock down Dillian Whyte, Dominic Brazil, Jarrell Miller, fight them all. You know, let's not, I don't want y'all twisting my words like, oh, he doesn't want him to fight Dillian Whyte. No, I'm saying fight Dillian Whyte. But I'm also questioning why didn't, because now Brazil, if you got, look, I'm only going off what these fighters are saying, man. You guys seen Brazil on Instagram? Or his Instagram? Go look at his Instagram from the last week or so, or a few days after the Ortiz fight with Wilder. He was saying, this is what he said, all right? He said, look, Wilder, you're not fighting AJ. Be real. Be real. You know that I'm your mandatory. That's what he said. So for me as a fan, it's like, who the fuck is the mandatory? And if you got White and Brazil both saying they're mandatories, that's why I say, well, shit, flip a coin. I don't fucking know. But for the UK sake of things, you can look at it like, well, shit, he does want AJ. Knock off Dillian Whyte. Both of these guys' only loss is to Anthony Joshua anyways. So it's kind of just like, pick your, you know what I mean? To me, it's a coin toss, man, to tell you the truth. But White's stock is a little higher right now because he just knocked the shit out of Lucas Browne. Look, man, Brazil, White, doesn't even matter to me. Just whoever, shit. Both the guys claiming they're the fucking mandatory for what they said. So, shit, whoever, man. Whoever, whatever. Just fight one of them. Standing 8 count says White is rated 1, Brazil is number 2, no WBC mandatory announced yet. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, Eddie Sosa says if a mandatory isn't named, he don't have to fight anyone. He can wait for AJ or Parker winner. Yeah, he could wait, Eddie Sosa, but at the same time, what I believe is Wilder shouldn't wait too long because if Parker wins, from my understanding, there's a rematch clause. He had to fight AJ again. Unless it's, you know, he had to fight AJ again. Unless Parker were to go in there and just embarrass him to the point where they're like, you know what, we don't want a rematch. Joshua got knocked out, you know, in embarrassing fashion in the first, you know, minute of the fight or something like that. Maybe he doesn't want an immediate rematch with Joseph Parker. But if Parker wins the fight, though, there's a rematch. Joshua, if he beats Parker, I don't believe he's going to fight Deontay Wilder next. I think they're going to go after Povetkin. Why do you think Povetkin's on the undercard? Yes, it's a name. It's another top 5 type of heavyweight. Povetkin is rated highly by the, I believe he's number 1 by the WBA, WBO. So they can use him as, hey, we're going to fight Povetkin next. He has a lot of options and his popularity is off the charts, man. So if he fights Pulev, Povetkin, still good fights, good wins. He doesn't necessarily have to fight Wilder. I'm not saying I want it. I'm just saying that's just what it seems like to me in the grand scheme of things. And it seemed like Hearn wants to, and Jarrell Miller's another one that they're talking about. I really think that Hearn may consider having Joshua come over here fight at the Barclays against Jarrell Miller. You know what I mean? But I really think Hearn's thing right now is he wants White to fight Wilder first. That's just what Hearn's accomplishment. I think that's what he's trying to accomplish. I think that's the race that him and Dillian Whyte are both on to get you the Wilder, to get him the Wilder fight. You know, that's just what I see, man. Standing 8 count says White. Okay, you already read that one. Doing light production says Browne looked like a crash dummy last night. Yeah, man. Browne, not like he's ever had amazing speed or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, but he just was what surprised me is his reaction time to everything. His reaction time to the jab was just like a second off. Like it seemed as if he couldn't. He just didn't have the rhythm or the timing, man. Like he'll get hit with a jab, then he'll try to react after getting hit with a jab, or get hit with a body shot, then try to move out the way. It couldn't like time anything or see anything coming. He was getting tagged first, then moving. Tag first, then moving. It wasn't like, here comes the punch, I'm moving out the way. Here comes the punch, I'm ducking under it. Here comes the punch, I'm putting up the high guard. Here comes a punch, I'm going to parry it and then come with my jab. No, it was hit, then try to react. Hit, then try to react. He was being more, how can I say, reactive than proactive, if that makes sense. I can't pronounce this. Reabuse. SW2 says, personally, hope White gets Wilder fight. Hopefully White beats him, and then the AJ versus White rematch is massive over here in England, Wembley, all English, Londoner, Tara. Yeah, for y'all out there, yeah, I totally agree, man. And that's what I was just talking about. For out there, yeah, that would be crazy. Two UK dudes fighting for undisputed. It'd be a rematch. You know, Dillian Whyte's gonna come to get it. He's gonna take chances. Dillian Whyte type of dude, and this is why I like White. He's the type of dude, whether he wins or loses, he's coming to fight, and he'll take chances. It may get him knocked out. It may lift him to victory, but he will come to take chances, man. You can't ask for much more than a heavyweight like that will come to take chances. Cedric Houston says, you don't work your way to boss status to be dictated. I definitely agree with that, just in life, period, not just boxing. Pop player was good, bro, was good. Stuck in Kiev was asking NBT Boxing, if you're a Junior 5's team, do you think about calling Browne for a fight now, or they just stick to existing game plan and other guys? Yeah, I think Fa can beat him right now. He's just too slow. Again, just like this fight, Fa just can't come in there reckless. You know what I mean? Because the overhand right can end anything. But right now, it seems as Lucas Browne's done. And yes, let me explain this, because I know people say, well, you said that if a guy loses doesn't mean his career is over with. Yeah, have said that. I've seen guys get knocked out face first and come back. Look at a guy like Manny Pacquiao. But I don't know, man. It's just getting knocked out like that, and he's already a slow type of heavyweight. I'm not sure what type of shape he'll come in at. I'm not sure how hard he'll train for his next fight. Will the motivation be there? It's just different circumstances, in my opinion. And his reaction time is what's scaring me. Again, Lucas Browne's never been this fast twitch reflex type of guy, but it's just his reaction time was so off, man. So off in this fight. Pesh, what's up, man? Joshua St. Clair says, would like to see Oscar Rivas fight Tyrone Spong for the WBC Latino title. Sign me up twice. I would love to see that fight. Both guys kind of resemble each other style-wise. I would love to see that fight. That'd be fucking explosive. I'll probably lean towards Oscar Rivas. Standing 8 count says, at least he fought and knocked out an elite. No, I'm sorry. At least he fought and knocked out an all-out puncher. So all punchers, watch out. That's true. He went in there and knocked his ass smooth out. Stuck in Kiev says, Fa has things he needs to develop, and Browne has a name in his former champion who could be a handful and good test for Fa, unless they want to develop him more. They might. Fa would easily outbox Browne. Yes, I think he can outbox him. I definitely do. It's just a part about going there trying to slug him or slug with him within the first round or two. But shit, the reaction time and the low guard that Lucas Browne carries, and he looked really straight up and very slow in his fight. He may be a punching bag for Junior Fa. Fa has way quicker hands. He's much more nimble on his feet than I think people give him credit for. He's a smooth fighter when he wants to be. I know his fights when he turned pro, he was coming out very aggressive, going to the body, throwing big shots. But I think he was just going in there to just get those guys out of there. But he did show against Craig Lewis that he can go some rounds, so. But then, like the Fred Latham fight, he caught him cold with a good shot. So Fa he's kind of versatile, Um, Obviously, you see how much more, how versatile he is against higher competition. But what they put him there against, pretty versatile fighter, in my opinion. Doing live production says Fa did not look good. I'm assuming you're saying against Craig Lewis, but that's one thing about Craig Lewis, you guys, and I said this now. Now, okay, just because a guy was decent as an amateur doesn't mean anything. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to transfer into the pros, and I totally understand that. But Craig Lewis isn't just some guy that they just picked out of nowhere. Craig Lewis actually won the 2008 Golden Gloves, the National Golden Gloves at the heavyweight division, which would be cruiserweight in the pros. Guess who won it in 2007? Deontay Wilder. So Craig Lewis isn't just the dude won the gloves, man. He was a damn good amateur here in the States. So when that fight was made, I was like, ooh, I'm picking Fa, but don't sleep on Craig Lewis. This guy that trains in a Crunk gym religiously. You know what I mean? He spars some of the best heavyweights there are out there too, man. Like, just don't sleep on Craig Lewis. I'm not saying he's a world beater. I'm not saying he can beat Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, but he's not going to be easy work, especially for an up-and-coming guy. It's not going to be easy work, and it didn't turn out to be easy work. But yeah, Fa didn't look spectacular in that fight. No, he didn't. Sir Cryptomus Primes said, Whyte, a great C-class fighter, but no match for Deontay. When you say C, I mean, if that's your opinion, that's cool. But to me, it's like, okay, well, then who's B-class? If guys like Wilder's consider A, then who's B? Is that Povetkin and Pulev, and then Whyte's under them? Me personally, and I said this on the hangout I was on earlier. I was on a panel earlier, and I was saying, in my opinion, I've been saying this for years, man, that the top like 6 through 2015-ish, to me, the talent gap isn't as spread out as most people think. Now, you see, if now anything can happen, hence what happened tonight, Whyte versus Browne. You may put some guys in there you think they're close in talent, and the dude gets fucking knocked out face first. Anything can happen, but just, to me, 9 times out of 10, I think, to me, Brazil and Ruiz Jr., to me, I don't know who will win that fight. To me, the talent gap isn't as spread out. I think it's closer than a lot of people think, in my opinion. Fiddleback X says, Browne looked defeated on the way into the ring. Maybe, now he has weighed more in other fights, but this 264 just kind of I was like, wow, I just didn't think 264. Now, maybe 260, 259 for a journeyman, but he was 250 against Chigayev. Like I said, I know he's been high as 273 and all that type of shit earlier in his career, man. But maybe he felt as if, I don't know. I can't sit up here and say what that man felt. I'm not sure how he was feeling coming to the ring, man. I'm not sure. So I'm not even going to speculate on it. But he damn sure got defeated in the ring, so. And then let me also talk about this, because this was something that was brought up earlier too, chopping it up with some fellas, man. And I do think that Wilder going out to the, now I'm not sure if he's still going, but from what I heard, he's supposed to go out to the UK to commentate on the fight like he did for the Klitschko fight. I believe it was him and Froch were both commentating for the fight last time when he fought Klitschko, Joshua. And I know Joshua saying that he doesn't want Wilder in the ring. He doesn't want to all the hype, and he doesn't want to do that. All right, I gave my opinion on that. Not going to fucking go over it over and over and over and over and over again. But I think really it's not even about that. You know what I think it's about? It's about Dillian Whyte being able to approach Deontay Wilder. And Wilder's mission is to go over there to confront Anthony Joshua, saying, hey, let's fight, get face to face. I think the internet will blow up. Wilder and Joshua face to face in any capacity, whether it's in the ring, outside, the internet will blow up. There will be millions of videos made. It will be all over the boxing websites. But this is going to be Dillian Whyte's opportunity to do what Wilder wants to do with Joshua. Whyte's going to do it with Wilder, because he's way more reckless. He will allow you know what, Whyte, his personality isn't like Anthony Joshua as far as that. He wants confrontation. He's not going to avoid confrontation. He wants that type of shit. And both of these dudes got alpha personalities, man, where they, you know, are confrontational type of people. That's Wilder and Whyte. They may need to be separated. Or maybe not. Who really knows? But I don't think that. I think this is more. I think Hearn's looking at it as more of an opportunity for Whyte to do it, because you can't tell Dillian Whyte that he can't go by the where they're going to sit to do the commentary. You can block somebody from coming in the ring unless Wilder walks around with a whole bunch of security guards going to block him off, a la what David Haye did to Shannon Briggs. You guys remember that? I forgot which fight it was, but when David Haye was walking through the crowd and he was literally ignoring Shannon Briggs. I mean, ignoring him. You know how sometimes you see somebody that you just don't want to talk to them. They're going to either talk your ear off, or you just don't really feel like talking. So you kind of do the whole, like, you try to act like you don't see him, but out your peripheral, you can see him. That's what David Haye did to Shannon Briggs. So I doubt Wilder would do that to Dillian Whyte, because he didn't do it to Tony Bellew. But I think this is all set up for Whyte to confront Deontay Wilder. That's just my opinion on it, though. Ray D. Ology, he says the UK just love a fight. Yeah, I think that goes for everywhere, though, you know. Oh, I get what you're probably commenting to what I was saying about, you know, fans getting late to fights and not watching all the fights on the card. Or maybe not, but shit, I love a fight too. I'm going to just say Lakers for your name. I can't pronounce the first, but I've seen you commenting on my videos quite a few times. But Lakers says, what's up, bro? Sending love from the UK. Still waiting for you to analyze AJ versus Parker. I definitely will. I did I'll keep, even though I did a video like a few days ago, I will do another video. I'm thinking about doing it behind my heavy bag. For those of you that have, actually somebody, oh no, but some of you that's been following me for years and years and years, you know that I do like heavy bag breakdowns. I'm really thinking about doing a breakdown like that on Whyte, or I'm sorry, Parker versus AJ. And I actually had somebody else that is a new subscriber, and they was like, man, is all your videos black screen? No, I've shown my face. I got damn near 3,000 videos. I've shown my face plenty of times. I try to have a picture, a thumbnail up, or a picture up as I'm talking. But with my live stream on my phone, I don't know how to get a picture up while you guys are listening to me. And then sometimes when I do want to show my face, I get bad connection. So it's just, my live streams are going to be black screen until I can figure something out. Sir Cryptomus Prime says, why do people praise Browne for being a punching bag? I mean, you know, it's easy to say this type of shit after the fact, you know. I mean, yeah, he's a punch. He got knocked out cold. He was out of shape. Well, shit, nobody expected him to come into the ring out of shape, you know, or for the weigh-in yesterday or the other day, you know, out of shape. And it's easy to say that in hindsight, you know, yo, yeah, now he's a punching bag. But shit, is also a guy that got off the canvas to beat Chigaev. Whether what you think of Chigaev, Chigaev was a formidable top 10 heavyweight throughout his career. You know what I'm saying? If you want to say Browne caught him at the right time, okay, so be it. But it's easy to say things after the fact, man. That's sometimes that I disagree with a lot of fans, is after the fact they want to say something. It's like, well, what about going into the fight? A lot of fans, not every fan, but a lot of fans looked at this as a 50-50-ish type of situation. You know, so yeah, now, but the guy was undefeated. I know he didn't beat all stars, but he was an undefeated heavyweight. It's good to take away his O. I didn't really see nobody overly praising him, though, so I'm not quite sure about that. But yeah, after the fact, yeah, he's a punching bag now, you know? Okay. Pesh says, I enjoyed the Riston fight most, but I'm biased. I didn't get to see that fight. Man, I just got to see the main. Sir Cryptomus Prime says Wilder mandatory is due November 11th. So Deontay has time to fight AJ first. Yeah, that's what we all want. I'm just breaking it down. I'm not sure if you're commenting to me or somebody in the comment section, but I'm just breaking it down from Eddie Hearn's point of view. But as a fan, yeah, man, that's the fight we want, man. Or that's the fight that I know a lot of people that I communicate with want. Next. SW2, he says, personally think Whyte has a really good chance of beating Wilder. Whyte could keep Wilder at bay with the jab. He's better technically and has a gas tank for 12 rounds, unlike Ortiz and 20 years younger. Well, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if Dillian Whyte is 20 years younger than Luis Ortiz, but hey, if that's how you feel, that's your prerogative. Does he have a chance? Well, you got two big heavyweights in there throwing leather. So, yeah, he does have a chance. Do I think that he can out-jab Wilder? I'm not sure about that, man. Wilder is a elusive guy. He's not going to stand there and just be a damn sandbag the way that Browne tried to fight. He's a lot quicker on his feet. And you talking about keeping somebody at bay. He can keep him at bay, but keeping him at bay will keep him in line to get hit with a right hand. Dillian Whyte isn't a defensive maestro himself, man. But he does come to get it. He's tough and he will take chances. I think him and his willingness to take chances will give him a chance. He took a chance with AJ. I think before he hurt AJ with that hook, I believe AJ landed a good right hand on him and proceeded to try to walk him down, and boom, he got hit with a hook. That's what I mean by Whyte isn't afraid to just throw. He isn't afraid to throw, man. And as far as technically, if you're talking about fighting out of a basic skill set, fundamentals like that, yeah, he is a basic skill set guy. Meaning, if you're a right-handed fighter, you got the left foot in front, the right foot in back. You got your guards up, you got your left hand by your chin or right in front of your face, or right to the side. You got your right hand also by your chin. You throw the jab out there. You bring the glove back to your chin. That type of thing. Then yeah, he does that more than Wilder, but Wilder's unorthodox. And to me, just me, and it's not Wilder. All right, it's anybody in the history of the sport. Sometimes fighting in an unorthodox manner can throw off a guy that's fighting out of that basic skill set. To me, the way Vladimir Klitschko threw his punches was unorthodox. Look at the way that Klitschko would. I'm talking about Vladimir now. Shit, even his brother, those guys kind of fought with their hands down, especially Vitaly. He would lean back and lean out the way and just fought unorthodox. Larry Holmes was a guy that kind of fought with his hands down, used to shoot his jab from his hip. Ali would do so. Roy Jones, Prince Nassim Hamed. I'm not saying they all fought the same, but it was unorthodox. You don't really teach nobody to fight like that. Any gym you go to, 9.9 times out of 10, they're going to bring you in and go over the basic fundamentals. Nobody's going to say, all right, put your hands down, lean back with your chin exposed, shoot your jab from your hip. Nobody's really going to teach you to fight like that. That's something you just develop and you get comfortable with. Let me see. But if Whyte, he can attack that body, take some chances, try to break Wilder down to the body and wing left hooks. And I'm pretty sure Dillian Whyte has a lot of confidence in his left hook, more than he had going into the Browne fight. Him just seeing him lay a guy out like that, he probably think he has the best left hook in the game. And I can't get mad at him if he feels that way for what he just did. Now, we can argue that he doesn't, but to me, it's going to add to his confidence. You know what I mean? Especially going in there and knocking out a guy who was looked at also as a guy that can punch. And he looked to be the bigger puncher in there. Pesh says, I wouldn't bet on it, but if I had to, then I would put my money on Wilder. Yeah, I'll definitely put my money on Wilder if you're talking about him fighting Dillian Whyte. Paula Wells says Whyte would be Wilder's toughest opponent to date if they fought. I wouldn't say that, because I think I rate it before. See, and that's what I say about things. And you can look at things in hindsight and say, yeah, see, he'll be the tougher guy. Probably. I don't know. They have to get in there and fight. But before the Ortiz fight, I rated Ortiz right. I rated Ortiz higher than Dillian Whyte, higher than Dominic Brazil and all those other guys. Him and Povetkin may be on par. Just they're more inside type of guys. I know they're getting up there and they're some of the older heavyweights. Uh, but I had Ortiz rated as a higher rated fighter than Dillian Whyte. You know what I mean? So nothing has changed because he knocked out Lucas Browne. And Ortiz got his chance and he got knocked out. Pesh says Ortiz is 49. Hey, that's young compared to some of the ages I've heard fans say that he was. But it's funny, though. Before the fight, he's a beast. He's the southpaw. He has way more skill. The only way Wilder can win if it's just a setup, so on and so forth. He knocks him out. Oh, he's 69. He's a bum. He's old. He's this. He's short. He's fat. So. Aladdin Saddam says AJ's about to fight around Wilder. I definitely think he's going to try to exercise other opportunities. That's just what it seems like, man. If y'all, we don't have to agree or disagree with people that don't believe that. If you believe that the Wilder fight will be next, then shit, hopefully it is. Fingers crossed. But I think Hearn wants to exercise other options. And I think he's trying to get Whyte in there with Wilder. Sir Kryptonus Prime says, why waste more time on B-level fighter like Whyte? Brits fear to see AJ versus Wilder. It's so sad, man. I just want to see an undisputed champion. As far as Whyte being a B-level fighter, I guess you can call everybody that's not a title holder maybe B-level fighter. I mean, he's right in that same pack of guys. Brazil, Povetkin's been in act. Well, I know he fought Radinko and he fought Johan Duhaupas and stuff like that. But for the most part, he has been pretty inactive over the years. So maybe he's slowing down a little bit. Just got to see. We'll see what he looks like in his Price fight. I expect him to knock out Price. But I guess they're all B-level fighters then, right? Pulev, I mean, that's why when people say A-level, B-level, C-level, it's like, well, who are all the A-level guys? And how many are there? Who are all the B-level guys? How many are there? Who are all the C-level guys? How many are there? Arjun Ganapi says, Mr. Boxing, how's it going? What's up, man? A Naw says Wilder should just realize he has to go through Whyte first and get him out the way soon rather than wait for WBC to force it. I guess, man, because I think that's what Hearn is trying to do. But whatever. To me, it doesn't, if he has to fight Whyte, it is what it is. But I just don't really understand, but it's Hearn doing his job as a promoter, Fast Eddie pulling one on us, but I just don't get why it's like this whole, you have to beat Dillian Whyte. Regardless, you can fucking beat Luis Ortiz, doesn't count, you got to beat Dillian Whyte. You can beat Povetkin, nope, doesn't count, you got to beat Dillian Whyte. You can beat Brazil, nope, doesn't count, you have to beat, it's like, why is it just Dillian Whyte to get to AJ? I just don't understand that, especially when I've heard AJ in the past say that. Now, this was, I believe, last summer when AJ was saying, when he was expressing his opinion about this whole, I'm not a part of Dillian Whyte's team. Like, I'm not about to be in. This is what AJ said, y'all. So he was saying that I'm not a part of, if you beat Whyte, then I'll fight you. I'm not going to put a contract together like that. I'm not a part of Dillian Whyte's team. I'm my own team. So if AJ is saying it, but I understand what Eddie Hearn's trying to do. I get the whole promoter thing, but I just don't get why it has to be Dillian Whyte. Just like if it would have been, why does it have to just be Luis Ortiz? Or why would it just have to be Povetkin? Or what? You got a quality win. So. Salsa says, Whyte is not B-level. He is A-level contending for a title. Okay, fair enough. That's what you think. One thing about my channel, man, I'm not here to, and I'm not saying that you're saying I'm doing it, but I'm never here to change your mind about who's A-level B. Man, that's your opinion, I'm never the one to change nobody's mind, man. Just giving mine and just trying to, just get my opinion out there. But yeah, if you think he's A-level, man, hey, he is rated #1 contender, and he does have 3 solid wins on his resume, so. D. Obianuli says, you guys can't change your tune now. Whyte earned his shot to face Wilder. I'm not sure if you're talking to me or if you're talking to other guys in the comment section. Hey, man, I don't know. I'm kind of reading these comments late, man. But, yeah, I said either Whyte or Brazil. If it's Whyte, then it's Whyte. He is rated #1, so I will go after Whyte first. As far as earning his shot, I think Lucas Browne was rated number 13. To me, more of an earn is it was a mandatory position. And you fought in the final, you fought in the final eliminator for the mandatory spot. That's more of earning it. But this was just kind of a freelance fight. He fought Lucas Browne, you know, so you can argue that Whyte has done more than Dominic Brazil in this situation. So, yeah, I want to see the Whyte fight, man. You know, that's cool, too. But if he was to fight Brazil, I'm not going to be like, oh, he ducking Whyte. You know, because that's what people were saying when he fought Ortiz. Oh, he ducked Dillian Whyte. It's like, dude, you know, it is what it is. But if fans feel as if Whyte's better than Ortiz or if he's the third best heavyweight or whatever, then hey, what can I say, man? Triple H 1200 says, I'm a realist. AJ versus Martin. Break, Brazil. I'm not sure what you meant by that. Break. I'm going to assume you're trying to say Brazil. AJ versus Vlad. Break. I'm assuming you're saying Brazil. AJ versus Parker. Or are you saying break? I'm not sure what you mean, man. But then he says AJ versus Wilder, probably. He is taking one fight between unification. Oh, you mean a break. Okay. So let me read that again. He says, I'm a realist. AJ versus Martin, break. AJ versus Vlad, break. AJ versus Parker, break. AJ versus Wilder, probably. He is taking one fight between unifications. How in the world is that not fast in 20 fights? I'm not sure if you're talking to me or somebody else. I've never argued that he hasn't, maybe you're talking to somebody else. But if y'all leaving a question for me or you put at Mr. Boxing today too, because I'm not sure if you're talking to me or not. Standing 8 count says, exactly, Mr. Boxing. That first fight was a grudge match with emotion. Both threw caution to the wind. In fact, Whyte is a smarter fighter in the ring. Sir, Cryptomus Prime says, something is not right. Garcia gets praised for fighting a bum. Now Whyte is the most greatest fighter for beating a bouncer Browne. The best should fight the best. No more excuses. I wouldn't say, well, maybe you have came across fans that are giving him over the top praise for this fight. I think it's just a decent win, you know, so I'm not a part of that group of fans, but maybe you have came across some fans that are treating this like it's the best victory they've ever seen. So Paula Wells says Pulev will be 37th April 5th. He is getting on. Yeah, he's getting up there in age. Doing Life Production says, what 50 you seen move like that? Sir Cryptomus Prime says, all that profile talk is Eddie Hearn. Reed Peters brainwashed talking BS. Whyte is nobody. He has to build his profile first. Shaking my fucking head. SW2 says, okay, some of y'all are talking to each other. Aladdin Saddam says, I was there in Omaha and no one was in the crowd. You're correct. Yeah. And that's what I was trying to convey to the UK fans. Like, dude, Hearn bring him over here last summer on the Crawford and Dongo undercard when they went for undisputed, was saying he's going to make a splash. And I'm like, make a splash? How can you make a splash fighting in front of 50 people, man, or 90 people, or whatever it was? I mean, it was literally, y'all can probably find that fight on YouTube. It was literally like empty seats everywhere. I'm not talking about there was a little section. I mean, it was everywhere. It was almost like, dude, this is a waste of time. Like, literally, I thought it was a waste of time. All in all says, as a fan, do you not think Whyte versus Wilder is a top fight? Yeah, I think it's a good fight. Hey, man, for some of you guys, man, because some of you guys, I recognize you guys, and you guys love to go back and forth with me when it pertains to Wilder, Whyte, and Joshua. So some of you commenters, and that's cool, you know, because we can go back and forth respectfully. But yeah, I think it's a good fight, man. All right, so no, don't try to, I'm not saying you're doing it, but just don't twist my words. Yeah, I think it's a decent fight. But do you not think Wilder versus AJ, if he beats Parker, isn't also a top fight for undisputed? Because it seems as if some of you guys would rather see Wilder versus Whyte for the WBC strap, more than you want to see AJ versus Wilder if AJ beats Parker, we just keep talking about Parker like he gonna get steamrolled. But if AJ beats Parker, it seems as if some of you would rather see Whyte versus Wilder. Maybe you like the style clash more. Maybe you think the trash talking would be better. I don't know what you think. But to me, it's like, man, dude, I thought people want to see undisputed. Plus, you got dudes in there that have literally knocked out everybody they fought. Undefeated. Undisputed's on the line. I haven't had an undisputed champion since 1999. But Sir Cryptimus Prime says Whyte is nobody. He should fight Miller or Dominic. I would love to see Whyte versus Miller. I did a video last summer around that time. Somebody was asking me what are the top 5 heavyweight fights I would like to see without using the same fighter. So without saying I want to see Wilder versus this guy and this guy and this guy, or Joshua versus this guy, this guy, and this guy. The number 1 fight was Wilder Joshua, but the fight that I also wanted to see was Ortiz Povetkin. And the other one I really want to see, I've been wanting to see this shit for a while, is Whyte versus Miller. That's another fight I would just love to see. The build-up would be crazy. I think style-wise, they mesh really well. Eddie Salsa says, yeah, I'm not sure if some of y'all talking to me or not, man, but because some of this stuff I'm not even saying, so Stuck in Kiev says, bottom line, after this fight performance, there is definitely more interest in Whyte and Wilder fight than before. It was a real signature KO tonight. If AJ not on offer, that's it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Pej says, laugh a lot. Sir Cryptimus Prime says, those stalling the undisputed fight are scared. It's real sad. They keep deflecting by hiding behind numbers, mandatories, resumes. It's sad, man. I'm definitely an advocate for undisputed, bro. So I can understand your frustration of, not being able to see that right away. Allah Ade says, don't you accept Joshua has been fighting 2 guys consecutively now? In your opinion, he has to fight Wilder next if he unifies with Parker? Yeah, I would like to see that fight. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. No, he shouldn't have to. He should be able to take a break and, spend time with his family. And he's going to do that anyways. It doesn't have to be in 2 months, 3 months, but just, yeah, later on this year. I don't see what the problem is. Not sure what you want me to say. Yeah, I would like to see that fight next. Just like when Wilder just beat Ortiz. People act like Wilder beat Ortiz 3 years ago. He just beat him, 20 days? He just beat him 20 days ago or some shit. Yeah, they're fighting in the same month. Wilder just beat Ortiz. Wasn't Ortiz a top 5-ish type of guy? Or is he a bum now? So, yeah. I don't know what you want me to say. A-Naw says, if we are going to see Undisputed this year, Wilder has to call out Whyte soon and not leave it. He doesn't have to do anything. They're fighting in it. AJ and Parker and Wilder and Ortiz, they all fought in the same month. I don't get what the discrepancy. It's like people are like, well, Wilder should have to do something else now. It's like, well, they just fucking fought in the same month. Like, what did y'all But hey, if that's your opinion, man, more power to you, bro. I'm just saying they fucking fought in the same month. I don't get it. You fight 20 days apart. And it's like, well, you need to fight somebody now because I just fought. Yeah, you just fought fucking 20 days after me. Like, or is it 27 days or whatever after? It's the same fucking month, man. Because then, if that happens, this is what I mean. Then we'll start playing Ring Around the Rosie. So then Wilder makes a fight. He fights, let's say, in, let's say June. And then what? AJ is going to schedule a fight for July. And then we have to do it all over again. Hey, I just fought. Now you fight. Hey, I just fought. Now you fight. Hey, man, that's going to be Ring Around the Rosie, man. Like, these aren't average Joes, man. Like, these are world-class athletes, y'all. But hey, maybe I'm asking too much. I don't know. And as far as this 20 fight thing, yeah, he has 20 fights. But once you become a unified title holder, all that prospect type of talk and taking it easy and all that shit kind of goes out the window, in my opinion. I don't know. That's just how I feel, man. But if you feel differently, It is what it is. SW2 says Wilder hasn't been promoted right at all by his team. As Hearn said before, Wilder is having to do it all himself. He's an American heavyweight champ. He should be the biggest athlete in sports. I don't know, man. Have you seen how popular LeBron James is? This isn't the 50s and, the 40s where the heavyweight champ was more popular damn near than the president, or the best baseball player in the world was more popular than. It's not them type of days. Now you got fucking LeBron James. Even when Mike Tyson was around, you can argue he's, him and Michael Jordan, but some of these other sports over here are huge, man. Like Tom Brady is very popular. And plus the decline that the heavyweight division has been on in America, some fans are probably like, well, they're probably questioning, like, is he that good? Is he like Holyfield and Tyson and Foreman and Ali was in their days? Like, is he that good? They're probably not sure. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard, saying he's the most popular. Dude, LeBron James is very fucking popular. Stephen Kelleher says 15 stone Wilder. Is that like the UK weight for, is that 214 pounds, whatever? I'm not sure. Is that what 15 stone mean? I'm not sure. Are you talking about his weight? Maybe I should look up 15 stone to US pounds. Because I have something to say about that if you're talking about his weight. Let me look it up real quick. Yep, you are. All right. So what I'll say about that is he knocks people the fuck out. Ortiz is 240 pounds. Put him to sleep. But I know what your rebuttal will be. Ortiz is old. So no matter what I say, if that's what you think, bro, it's what you think. That's why I don't like to argue, man, because I'm not here to change your mind. But to me, he's knocking people. He's putting people in comas, man. Like, people are going to sleep. And he's using his size to his advantage. He's still rangy, and he can knock people the fuck out, whether they outweigh him by 20 or 30 pounds or whatever it is, 40 pounds. People are going to sleep. So Ray Ology says that Prime guy is weird. Well, I don't know, Ray. Shit, maybe a lot of people think that what you say is weird, bro. I just think that you guys are on two different sides of the fence and you're going for your guy, man. SW2 says Wilder team's fault, not AJ's. Paula Wells says Wilder versus White will happen. Stephen Keller says Joshua White Dubois division locked for next 10 years. Okay, if that's what you say. Eddie Salsa says the Russians will throw some cash around and get there before Miller or White, maybe even Wilder. Andrew Grimba says, bro, you had to choose a fight for Wilder out of Big Baby, White, or Brazil. Who would you want? I want Jarrell. I know Jarrell ain't in WBC rankings, but out of those three, who would you want to see, excluding AJ or Parker? To tell you the truth, man, I think as of right now, because Brazil, his best wins are, let's see, he got the win over Mansour. Although I thought Mansour was tagging his ass, but he was able to beat Mansour. He beat Israel Gono when Gono was looked at as a up-and-coming rising guy. He beat Molina. I thought he lost to Fred Cassie. Okay, so, and then you got Miller, who beat Wack. Then he has Duopa coming up. Right now, I would say White has done more, but with that said, just based on who will win fights between those three, I'm not sure, man. That's why I want to see the fights. I'm not sure, but I think White has probably done more. Plus, he's rated #1, so I'll just say throw White in there. And I know I keep going back and forth with Brazil White because to me it's pretty much just toss a coin, but I'll probably go with White. And because it seems as if that's what Eddie Hearn is trying to set up to get him to fight Wilder, is this whole you have to beat Dillian Whyte crusade that he's on. But hey, maybe they may maybe the WBC may make him the mandatory anyways. Pesh says, so many Wilder nut huggers, it makes me laugh. You do realize that AJ will fight Miller first. Look at the IFL interview and you will understand the timeline. And I can also argue, Pesh, looking at my comment sections, not just on this video, but just videos I've made, there's a lot of AJ nut huggers too. So the shit goes both ways, man. I do think for me it's tough sometimes to be rational with both fan bases, and I'm a fan of both, but I'm not like a over the top super fan no matter what this guy does or says, you know, that type of guy. So I think it's on both sides, man, because some UK fans, they feel as if I've seen this, man, in my comment sections, he doesn't have to fight Wilder. I've actually seen guys say if they were Hearn and Joshua, they wouldn't even fight Wilder throughout his whole career. Just never fight him at all. You know, make him beg and make him and sun him and, you know, all this weirdo type of stuff that's weird to me. All right, but I've seen it on both sides. I've seen Wilder fans that think he's the best heavyweight they've ever seen, and maybe he is the best that they've ever seen. I'm not sure who all they've seen. You know what I mean? So to me, it goes back and forth, man. Sir, Cryptomus Prime says there are like 20 heavyweights better than White. UK fans delusional. Nah, I wouldn't agree with that. I don't think there's 20 heavyweights. Like I don't think that Dillian Whyte is rated number 21 right now. I just don't see that. But I do think there's a lot of heavyweights out there that will give him a tough fight. Like I think if Amir, I know Mansour's older, but if Amir Mansour still has anything left in the tank from what I've seen, I think that'd be a good fight. You know what I mean? I think him fighting Ruiz Jr. would be a good fight. Him fighting Pulev, Povetkin. I can name a lot of guys. But I wouldn't go as far as to say he's like rated number 21. I wouldn't go that far, though. Mike Wilkins says, Suleiman already said he would like to do Wilder versus Povetkin if no Joshua Parker next. The Povetkin fight would be a good fight, too. I still think there's unfinished business there. There's a lot of damn comments. Appreciate all you guys leave these comments, man. Some of y'all just going back and forth. So I'm gonna cherry pick some of these comments. So I think most of you guys are just going back and forth. Paula Wells says Oscar Rivas can only fight in Canada. Apparently no license will be issued in the USA due to his retina. Yep, his right retina. Yep, I brought that up earlier. And the fights that he did have on the table, which I thought would have been great fights for him, the Jared Washington fight, the Amir Mansour fight, got taken off the table. Mike Wilkins says, how about 5 versus Trey Lippe Morrison? Sign me up. I love that fight. Trey just came back few weeks ago, picked up a victory, moved on to 14-0 with 14 KOs. Maybe they can get that on Showbox. I think that'd be a good fight. They had Morrison in there with Ed Lattimore. Lattimore was 13-0 when Trey fought him. You know, 2 prospects type of matchup. So I'd love to see that fight. Pop Player says Browne ain't a bum, but he ain't elite either. No, I never thought he was elite like top 5, but I thought he was at least top 15-ish, maybe at the bottom, you know, that type of guy. I've always looked at Lucas Browne like that. Maybe after you beat Chigaev at that point in time, maybe number 10, you know, something like that, but not like top 5 or nothing. I believe after you beat Chigaev, maybe I put him like at number 10. I haven't did a top 10 rankings in like over a year, and I was pissed because I said I'm not doing the top 10 rankings again until all these dudes start fighting each other. Because I was looking at my rankings and I'm like, dude, like 7 of these dudes are undefeated. Like, how do I know what's what if they're all fucking undefeated, you know? So, but now that we're getting a more clear picture, Ortiz was one of those guys. He just got knocked off by Wilder. Parker and AJ about to fight. One of those guys want to get knocked off. Browne just lost his undefeated record. You know, so on and so forth. So let me try to scroll all the way down. Damn, it's a lot of comments. Holy shit. Man, shouts out to y'all, man. Damn. Damn. Oh, okay. Mike T says, Mr. Boxing, as far as styles go, what do you think would be the most exciting competitive fight for White? I think Jarrell Miller and Brazil. I know it's like I keep bringing those three names up. But I think those style clashes would be most exciting because Brazil, he's going to come in face first, you know what I mean, and try to use his size, and I think he'll go in there. He will try to walk White down. We know White won't run from a tear up. Jarrell Miller, same thing. He wants to come in there, use his size, mow you down, have a high work rate. Seems as if he can take a good shot. Also forgot to add that Miller also beat Gerald Washington. I don't know why I forgot to say that, but yeah. Eddie Five Belly says Browne was terrible. Mr. Boxer today, White went life and death with Chisora. Surely that's his level, European, or do you think he is improved substantially? Just think he had a tough fight with Derek Chisora. I mean, Chisora I thought Pulev beat him. I didn't think it was that close that the judges had it, but shit, he kind of had a decent fight with Pulev. And, Chisora's just one of them dudes. Now, he did get sparked by David Haye, but he's just one of them type of dudes that give guys a tough fight, especially if you're close to his height and size and that, But shit, Chisora just lost to Ajay Cabello, so maybe White versus Cabello can be a fight made. Who knows? No, I think White showed more patience in his fight with Browne, but Browne was just a sitting duck in this fight. Power Player says White Wilder isn't 50-50. No, I don't think it's 50-50 at all. I would probably say 70-30, 75-25, something like that. That's what I would say, but Ray Ology says, my list of AJ opponents is larger than yours of Wilder. Mala2243, what's up, man? He says, AJ Wilder is the bigger fight. I would prefer to see that than a Wilder fight with White, but I just don't think Hearn is going to go that way. He will push White first. I totally agree. Mike Lowry. Bad Boys, I remember that movie. But he says, I want to see anything but undisputed. Okay, Mike Lowry. Okay. Copy that. Standing 8 count says, Mr. Boxer, my first choice is Wilder versus AJ, and then the undercard Brazil versus White. Sign me up. Shit. I'd like to see that too. Mike Lowry says, may we protect AJ till he retires undefeated. Harry Smith says, Mr. Boxing, who would you say are the most promising up-and-comers? If Joshua does beat Parker, Wilder, and Fury if he returns, I hate the idea of new Klitschko-esque era. I want competition. Up-and-coming guys, man. You got Daniel Dubois. You got Sarenko. You got Junior Fa. You got Trey Lippe Morrison. You got... Oh, man, shit, there's a lot of dudes out there, yo. You got Alexander Teslenko. You got a few guys from America that I like. Jermaine Franklin. Cassius Chaney's another guy. I just want to see these guys develop, though, man. And I know it's easy to say, oh, that guy didn't look good in this fight or that fight. Just want to see these guys develop. You got Nathan Gorman out there. I want to see him and Dubois probably fight. You got Nick Webb out there. Then I still got a guy like Oscar Rivas who I want to see, get some quality fights. Adam Konowski's out there, although he gets hit a lot. I like watching him fight. Then you got the Olympians that came in, right? You got Tony Yoka and Joe Joyce and Ivan Daichko, and you got a guy who I was high on before the Olympics. Watch him in the amateurs, Filip Hrgović. He's a guy that I like watching. There's a laundry list of prospects, man. Go to my prospect playlist. I've done close to 90 prospect watch videos. So go to that, just scroll through, pick some names out, man. There's a lot of guys out there. 90 prospects. That's a lot. That's a lot of prospects to do prospect watches on, man. 90 of them. Or it's close to 90. Close to 90. Andrew Grimba says, what would you rather see, Wilder versus Whyte or Wilder versus Miller? I don't have a coin. I'll just toss a coin up. But since Whyte is #1 by the WBC and Wilder can just take care of that, I think that'd be a good idea. But man, to me, any of I think all those guys, even like Ruiz Jr., I'll throw him in there too. Shit, I just think these guys are like, those guys are just all grouped up. They're all on par until they fight each other and separate themselves. To me, they're all pretty much the same guy, in my opinion. SW2 says, Mr. Boxing, how much of a factor do you think the weight difference of AJ and Wilder would make in their potential fight? Well, I don't look at AJ as this like brawl, this maul you with his strength type of guy. He wants separation and wants to let his hands go. He does throw tight, very good tight combinations when he's up close and mid range. I like that about AJ a lot, especially for a tall guy like that. But he isn't a guy that is trying to like impose his he's not trying to shoulder you or anything like that. He wants to just throw his hands. So he isn't that type of guy really. Will he be able to ragdoll Wilder if they get close and clinches? I don't know. I thought Ortiz would now in hindsight, I know a lot of you going to try to, debunk it, but going into the fight, I was like, man, if Ortiz get close to Wilder and land those crafty combinations, start to shoulder Wilder and use his weight, Wilder better be careful. But when those guys got close, guess who was the one that grabbed the other guy and just threw him off of him? Like literally pushed him off. And the ref was like, hey, stop pushing. It was Wilder. Sometimes wiry type guys can be a lot stronger than what you think. And I'm not sure that the weight difference will mean much. I'm not sure. I think it would mean much more if like Jarrell Miller went in there, because we know that Jarrell Miller's trying to impose his size and lean and push. But Joshua doesn't seem like the lean and push, impose my size type of guy, in my opinion. So I don't think the weight difference will make much of a difference, being that both guys just want to let hands go. They're not trying to do the whole shoulder and forearm you, and they just don't fight like that. Pop Player says the way people are acting, saying he was old and a bum now because Wilder beat him. Yeah, I just don't get any. And even if you want to rewind back a year or so ago, when Wilder was getting ready to fight Warzik, remember when that fight was going to take place? Let me raise my hand. I was one of the guys saying, no, Wilder, fight Ortiz, man, because that's when Ortiz stepped up and said, hey, I'll fight you for a replacement for Warzik. And then that's when his team came out. And this was something I was disagreeing with, what's dude's name, man? Lou DiBella. I was disagreeing with him and JD's because they were like, no, we don't want to fight somebody on 30 days notice that's had a drug testing history. And at that time, I'm like, man, just fight Ortiz, man. If you can't fight, it was funny because I was like, fight Ortiz or Gerald Washington. I actually have a video saying that. And then when he picked Gerald Washington, I was like, because I actually did an interview with Gerald Washington. And it was, this is when the Warzik and Wilder fight was still set. It hadn't got canceled yet. And I did an interview with Gerald. And for some reason, I was like, Gerald, if this fight with Warzik falls through, would you be ready to fight Wilder? And he was like, hell yeah, I'll be ready to fight Wilder. I probably jinxed that fight, y'all. I probably jinxed the Warzik fight because like a week after that video came out, I did the interview with him and put it on YouTube. The fight got canceled. He failed the test. And then they picked Gerald Washington. The shit was funny how it played out. I know I'm going off track a little bit, but that Wilder versus Washington fight, 9 months before they fought, 9 months before that, I came out with a video saying I would like to see Wilder fight Washington maybe for a voluntary one day based on their styles and based on the height and weight, and I just thought it'd be an intriguing matchup because that was around the time Wilder was saying that he wants to set up his shots, he wants to be more cerebral in the ring, he wants to think and he wants to strategize and not just go out there head hunting for big shots. And I was like, man, Washington kind of fights in a negative fashion, and he's just as tall and looks just as strong as Wilder, that may be an interesting matchup. And then fast forward 9 months later, the damn fight happened. It was just crazy how that planned out. And even the first 4 rounds I gave to Gerald Washington, but Ray D. Ology says, funny how Wilder isn't mentioning any other boxer than AJ. Wilder retirement fight for sure. Okay. Or you can flip that and say it's just for undisputed. Like, people are forgetting it will be for the undisputed heavyweight championship. Maybe it's just me, man. Maybe I'm just stuck in this the old school way of just, I just want to see an undisputed to me. But yeah, I'm sure that Wilder knows he can make a lot of money fighting AJ. Wilder also was talking about he wanted to fight Parker. So when you say it's funny how he hasn't mentioned, it's like, well, what about when he was mentioning Parker? What about when Parker went out there for the and granted, I know Parker was out there to support Iju when Iju was fighting Brazil on the undercard, but Parker went to go see Wilder versus Washington, and they actually have the picture of them guys back in the locker room talking to each other, talking about, hey man, I handled my business, now you handle your business. This is when Parker was set to fight Fury. That fight fell through. Then he ended up fighting Razvan Kanjanu. See, sometimes like fans just forget things or just don't mention other things too. Like, what about when he wanted to fight him? And then what about when he mentioned Ortiz and just fought him? So what? I don't. But hey, if that's how you feel, man, more power to you, bro. Mike T says, okay, he's talking to somebody else. Tess Silaja. He says, Mr. Boxing, do you think a lot of people are reading too much into Whyte's victory? Sure, it was a good win, but unification is more interesting to me than throwing another name into the hat. Yeah, that's what I think too, man. But it seems like a lot of fans, they either don't care about Undisputed or they're just really hell-bent on seeing Wilder versus Whyte before that happens. I just want to see an Undisputed champion, man. Ben Richards says, what's up, Mr. Boxing? What's good, man? Be easy. What's good, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. He says, how do you feel about the FBI investigation into college basketball? Man, shit's been going on for a long time. I don't know why they're coming out acting like this is so new and they can't believe what's going on. I even heard Dick Vitale gave his opinion, and he's acting, well, he even said during the interview, I'm not being naive, but it's like, no, you are being naive, man. This shit's been going on forever, not just at the D1 level. I've had homeboys get paid at the D2, D3 level. You guys have heard me share my story about when I received some money in college. And I actually took those vids down, but I still have them, saved. Talking about my college experience. For you guys that don't know, I was recruited by damn near everybody, man. I have almost 1,000 recruiting letters. I showed it on. I still got those videos. So their investigation is long overdue. It's long overdue, man. Guys have been getting paid. High schoolers, guys that are at the colleges. I think that these college players should get some type of stipend, something, man, because you really can't work a job during the season and then the off season. What coaches want you to do? Work on your game. Work on your game. Work on your game. Work on your game. Stay on campus and work on your game. So it's just crazy when, as an athlete, you see the college making all this money, selling your jersey, selling your likeness. And then people say, well, you're getting a free education. What? So my little free education, and you guys are making millions. And in some of these universities, millions and millions and millions of dollars, man. Millions of dollars. And you're using my likeness, using everything. So that's why I don't get upset when guys are one and done and only stay there for a year. It's just all corrupt, man. It's all corrupt. And I don't look at these dudes as collegiate. I look at this like it's fucking semi-pro. So I think the investigation, I guess if they're trying to investigate some shit, what's the big hurry now? This has been going on for years. I guess they got some wiretaps on a few coaches and these AAU coaches, and the shoe companies are involved with a lot of this shit. It's just messed up, man, that they're just punishing kids and taking away scholarships from the universities to punish kids. And I also think it's stupid when they also go back and say, oh yeah, you know, in 2012, you guys paid the player. So yeah, we're going to take away your Final Four or your championship from that season and say that like it didn't exist. Because they did that shit with Louisville. It's like, dude, we seen Louisville win the championship. Like, what do you mean you're taking it away? It's like with Michigan and the Fab Five. So what, the Fab Five didn't exist? Like, come on with the foolishness, man. Like, it's just ridiculous. 85 Belly says, Mr. Boxing Parker is relaxed dude, but seems more chill for the AJ fight. Their latest press conference was the most fluid and relaxed I've ever seen him. What do you make of this? He usually, you know, his first bigger fights, he seemed kind of nervous in front of the press, like he didn't want to say much. For all them damn fights, the Dimitrenko, Ruiz, Takam, every presser, he just didn't really seem comfortable in front of cameras all that much. Like he didn't really want to talk as much. But I think he's getting more comfortable as his career moves on, and he's getting these high profile type of fights. He's traveling, like he had to fight in the UK with Fury. So I think he's just getting more relaxed. And I just think he's confident going into this fight. I really do. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to win. But I do think he is relaxed, and I do think he is confident, man. I really do. And he seems way more relaxed than he was the first presser they had with AJ. But even when he had the gloves are off episode with AJ, he seemed relaxed in that one too, man. I just think he's very confident. Just think he's a confident guy going into this fight. Now, will it translate next Saturday? We will see. Read a few more comments here, man. 67 people in the building, only 55 thumbs up. Come on, man. Let's try to, now 69 people. Let's try to match that thumbs up with the viewers, man. All right, here. Let me see. Probably take a few more questions, man. I'm gonna call it one. M Reynolds, what's good, bro? He says, Mr. Boxing, how do these heavyweights talk? Hold on. How do these heavyweights talk so much trash for months and come to fight looking like they never lifted a weight or stepped on the treadmill? That's true. And then to make it even worse, bro, is how do these dudes post videos on Instagram training allegedly every day? You see the pictures and they come in way out of shape and overweight. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. George Rodriguez says, you figure out how to do the wrench yet, fella? Nah, I still ain't done that, man. Damn. You know, man, a lot of these live streams are just so spur of the moment. Like, I literally just woke up. I was watching the first 48 on my A&E. I had like a season just playing all the episodes. I fell asleep, woke up at 3 in the morning and said, let me talk about the Browne versus Whyte fight. I just spur of the moment with these live streams, man. But I really need to figure out how to give y'all some wrenches, man. I do not know how to do that. SW2 says, Mr. Boxing, by the way, names pronounce Rubes, just so you don't need to keep saying my area code, Brixton. Okay. So Rubes, all right. Rubes, SW2. You said you out of Brixton. Shouts out to Brixton. Shouts out to all the UK fans, man. I don't show my subscribers because I just, you know, after my first channel, because I had a Mr. Boxing Today channel. This is why it's called Mr. Boxing Today 2. I still have that channel up, but all my videos are on private because I want to transfer all the views to this channel. And on that channel, I got 1,000 subscribers very quick. Like within the first month that I joined in 2010, I think by like maybe February 2011, I had 1,000 subscribers. And that was back when 1,000, for those of you that's been around for that long, that's when 1,000 subs actually meant something back in those early YouTube days. You got 1,000 subs, you was like one of the, you know, fast growing channels. Now 1,000 subs, you can get that shit in a month. But the reason, and I do have a lot of subs, but I just don't show it because it was never really important to me from the start. So when I started this channel, I said, you know what, I'm gonna keep this shit on private. Because I'm not trying to be the most popular YouTube guy. I just want to give my opinion, and then sometimes fans like to come say, oh, you don't have more subscribers than this guy, or you're not as big as this guy. Just give my boxing opinion. Do you enjoy the content, or do you want to enjoy my content because I have X amount of subs. You know what I mean? I wish I can turn my views off too. I know I'm getting close to like 8 million views. So shouts out to y'all for, you know, coming to the channel. And I know it says I started the channel in 2015 of July, but I really started uploading for real, like January of 2016 is when I really started to upload a lot on this channel. You know what I mean? But that's why I don't show my subs and just don't really care about how many subs I got. Whether I got 20,000 or 17,000 or whatever it is. It shouldn't matter, man. Just I want y'all to enjoy the content. There's a lot of comments on here, man. Ali Dago 619 was good, bro. Let me see here. FSG Boxing was good. He says fans have selective memories when it comes to Wilder. Yeah, the guys that like to detract from him, yeah, they do. They forget a lot of guys who he wanted to fight and him going face to face with guys and them coming in the locker room and shaking his hand and say, yeah, I'm going to take care of my business. We'll fight, blah, 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 or whatever, you know. But I guess it goes both ways, too. I guess it goes both ways. Let me see here. Fat Apples, what's up? He says, beautiful KO last night. Not just White, but Chaucer as well. We were wrong with our points. Guess Mr. Box today, but expect Browne a little more durable. Yeah, I thought he'd be a little bit more durable than that. I thought White would win the fight, but I didn't think it'd end like that. All right, man. I'm going to get off this thing, man. Definitely appreciate all the comments. Let me see if any more I can cherry pick real quick. Standing 8 Count says, I think Wilder and AJ are in a class of their own. Then you have the next tier of White, Brazil, Miller, Konowski, etc. Not sure where to put Parker yet, but we'll see after his fight with AJ. Andrew Grimba says Charles Martin versus Dominic Brazil versus Andrew Ruiz versus Dillian Whyte versus Brian Jennings versus Kubrat Pulev. Who wins in a 6-way scrap? Let's see here. So you got Martin, not him. Brazil, Ruiz, White, Pulev. I think it will come down to. Ruiz and White in that one. Pulev, he's another guy, man. When he is active, he's fighting guys like an old ass Samuel Peter and Kevin Johnsons and guys like that. Pulev seemed like one of them guys is literally just sitting around waiting for title opportunities, man. But I guess you can argue that about a few other guys too. But at least they're fighting, you know, some of the younger guys. You know what I mean? Like Pulev's he literally fought Samuel Peter, y'all. Like last year, like that version of Samuel Peter, not the who next beating his chest, you know, up and coming KO artist Samuel Peter, but this old ass Samuel Peter, man. He fought him. He fought Kevin Johnson recently. So it's like, that'll hurt you as a fighter too, man. I know guys want to go in there and just have some soft touches to, you know, quote, stay sharp. But it's like, dude, you can't have too many of those just in a row. It's not going to do you any good, man. You might as well just go and just train really hard in the gym and get good sparring. Stuck in Kiev, or George Rodriguez says, Oscar Rivas beat Pulev and Ruiz in the amateurs. Yes, he did. Oscar Rivas did beat Pulev. He actually beat Pulev in the Olympics. He did. Good call, George Rodriguez. He did beat him. Rivas was a good amateur. Then he also won he won a tournament. Damn, which tournament was it, man? He won one of those important amateur tournaments too, that year before the Olympics. Damn, I forget which one he won. But yes, he did. He beat Pulev in the Olympics. Stuck in Kiev says, so, to summarize, two decent heavyweights had a good scrap with his signature KO. but it pills the fact that Charles Martin walks the earth like a god. Charles Martin walks the earth like a god. Yes, Ruiz won the world championships in 19. Yep, he did. All right, man. One more, okay. Fat Apple says, I just wonder if Whyte doesn't get Wilder or AJ next. Is it worth him going after Cabello for Euro title, or is that backward step? No, I think it's a good step because shit, before, some people may still argue that Whyte's best win is the Chisora fight. People may say that this is his most signature win against Browne, knocking him out, and I do think it's his best highlight real win. But shit, we can argue that Chisora is his best win. Guess who Cabello's best win is against? Chisora. He's an undefeated young guy, German guy, has the EBU title. I think that'd be, if he was a fight Cabello, I wouldn't be mad at that fight. I think it'd be backwards for him because, Wilder or Cabello, I think it'd be backwards for him as far as that goes. But if he can't get Brazil or maybe a bigger name in there, like a Charles Martin or Andy Ruiz Jr., something like that, then yeah, I would rather see him fight Cabello than fight, try to bring some journeyman in and beat him up, try to get Samuel Peter, the 2018 version of Samuel Peter out there. All right, y'all, I'm going to call it a day, man. Y'all be easy. Till the next time, man, I'm gone.